This here is the first electric Volkswagen GTI. So by that, they want to transform the whole GTI heritage, the I usually stands for injection, into the electric age. Recently, we've seen the ID2 concept, and this is, so to speak, now the ID2 GTI. At the size of a Volkswagen Polo, here is Thomas Autogefühl in 4K, full screen, full length. Let's go with all the details about this small GTI electric vehicle. We can see in the front, on the one hand, they play with a lot of funny details. For example, here, the no step sticker, like on an airplane, when you don't, not supposed to step on the wings, you maybe see it when you look outside the window. Then the honeycomb design, typical GTI. Here, a tow bar, for example, when you're getting pulled off the racetrack, when you maybe exaggerate it a little bit too much. Also here, these will be the daytime running lights. This is a clay model, so it's not a real vehicle, therefore not functioning lights. But the design, they told me, should actually come quite close. And you can also decide, because when you use the comment section and you give them the feedback, if you like this design concept there, then they can also work with that. In the middle part, a huge VW logo, retro style, and the light strip will go all the way around. When you look basically from here, you can see that the lower part here, the front spoiler is really way wider in the front. They take these design citations from the original Golf 1. Lengthwise, by the way, it comes closer to a Golf 3 GTI. Then in the side profile, you can see these are the biggest 20-inch wheels. And once again, they give these citations of a Golf 1 wheel design. And on the middle part, even some clues from the interior. You maybe remember there's this manual stick with the golf ball design. Here we can see the golf ball design in these wheels. On the side, more GTI badge. Then it's a very interesting design clue here, because the side mirror attachment kind of forms this step here. Lower side skirt, this is a very dramatic line. So we can see on the one hand, it is very clean. On the other hand, there's a very strong stance here on the side wheel arches. This will also differentiate to the normal ID2. And you might remember also pricing-wise, they want to put the price really, really low with the new ID2 being an electric vehicle for all. So this is supposed to be the sporty electric vehicle for everyone. We have to see if this will become reality also pricing-wise. So design-wise, actually more a Golf, but lengthwise, as I said, more a Polo. And here the rear doors will be opened right here. Then a huge rear wing. So, wow, look at that. This diffuser style in the lower part, super strong. Not sure if it will come that dramatic, but as I said, they seem to be more playful once again now in the design section of Volkswagen. We can see that once again with stickers here, GTI on the top. Then we have this really funny sticker from below, for max performance, shunt trunk before light. And then in the lower part, we have more stickering right here going all the way across. The lights will have signature right here. We've seen it with the ID2 with a normal concept earlier. And this electric warning symbol here on the lower part. What can we expect facts and figures wise? This is really interesting. So this very small MEB platform, or this sub-MEB platform they're using here, is front-wheel drive only. So they will stick true to the thing that GTI is front-wheel driven only. Acceleration figure will be something around 6 seconds to 100 kilometers or 60 miles an hour. So in the region of a Golf GTI, something like that. You know, this electric drivetrain has instant torque. They need to control it somehow. And therefore, on the front axle, there will also be an electronic differential lock. You will also get optional DCC, that's the adaptive suspension. And this one will come with a special feature, not only that it can rule between this, the span of soft and a little bit harder. You can have different presets, and there will also be unique presets for this very vehicle that also expand beyond the suspension. So you will have something like a VW Golf GTI 1, 3 and 7 preset, and then the DCC suspension, but also imaginary shifting, also maybe the sound and so on. Everything will be set on these past GTI models that you will drive. This one here, the electric one, but you get the feeling of driving a Golf 1 GTI. So it's also one thing, what we can see once again with this vehicle, that it is this Polo size, but all the design quotations, all the spirit and so on, everything basically comes from past Golf GTIs and transporting that one now to the new age. And this is also the reason why they've taken this very color called Mars Red. This was the very first Golf GTI color. Do you like it? Tell me in the comments. So my favorite thing here about this GTI concept is it is a rather small vehicle and it will be more affordable than other EV performance cars. At the same time, it already has such a strong stance here on the road. Top speed, by the way, will be then higher than with the normal ID2, here around 180 kilometers an hour or 112 miles per hour. One thing that is not revealed yet is the battery size. However, there are some official figures as for the range out there, and I usually take them and lower them a little bit to make them realistic. So my expectation here for this one is around 350 kilometers or 220 miles as a realistic range figure. Recharging will be 10 to 80% state of charge in around 20 minutes, so there will also be some DC charging available, of course. But do not expect a super large battery for this one. It is more meant to be a true city sports vehicle. Back in the days, it took weeks or even months to create a concept like this. Nowadays, it works just faster with computer-aided design, of course, and then there's a wooden frame underneath, and then they add some clay and then form the final structure. And this is basically the outer part is painted clay. You can actually also move this vehicle, but it cannot really be driven or something. There's no electronics underneath it. But that way they can also move faster with design ideas and then get again feedback from you, for example. As for the interior, they will take over the things we've known from the ID2 concept recently. For example, a trunk of about 440 liters inside, then 50 liters more with a space underneath the rear bench, because this is also one of the advantages of this front-wheel driven concept, that you have space under the rear axle and then you can have this additional storage box underneath the rear bench. That's also very interesting. Instruments, 11-inch, infotainment system on the right, 13-inch, and you will either have this normal ID2 version and then even more special GTI-like features, of course, here with the ID2 GTI version. For example, the red contrast stripes or stitching, and also a new heartbeat feature in the seat. This is just a concept though, signalizing that the alarm is on. And here this new GTI experience selector in a golf ball style surrounding, or the pause and play button pedals. If a heart is really according to the target group, I'm not sure about that. What do you think? But the rest of the interior really looks cool. Some Alcantara also at the steering wheel, for example. And you will have this key-alike thing that you can insert in the steering wheel to turn on the vehicle, actually. If this will be reality, also doubtful. But I really like the drive mode selector with the golf ball surrounding. What do you think? In the middle part you can see there will be physical climate dials and also a volume jog. In this overview you can see the seats from behind. They have this sports seats styling and they will also feature speaker inside the seats. So what do you think about this first electric GTI concept? Tell me in the comments, and now join us for the normal ID2 reveal.